Just level setting a bit the question, what marketing mix modeling and modeling in general has given us is it's given us a language that works for finance. So the return on marketing investment, the return on spending, gives a finance person understanding of what they're getting for what they're giving. Now that is the key cornerstone for how we think about going forward and looking for our ways and methodologies that continue to provide that kind of insight. There are ways that that we're working on. We have a program, a product that we call Sensor, and Sensor gives us, in the last 3 months, it gives us relative investment values for the tactics and the deep level analysis that is taking place. So if you're starting to look post-COVID at what is working, what is not, that kind of analysis would work brilliantly for that kind of scenario. Also, you could start looking in, and Karen might chime in on this one a little bit, but the idea of scenarios. Making and doing scenarios, meaning if it goes this well or if it goes that well, will give us different ranges of financial impact and business return on investment that you can use with your finance team to say low risk to high risk, what we believe we'll get for our activity. And there's things like ABM, and I think Karen's more versed in ABM and how you would use that, but it creates those scenarios and those kinds of tools on a regular basis.
And for the benefit of people dialed in today who don't know what ABM is, I'd love for Karen, if you're okay, to explain to us agent-based modeling. What is it? It sounds pretty cool. Could you expand on that?
Sure. So as Sean and Claudia alluded to, there are, before I get into ABM, I think it's important to recognize that, while market mix modeling or attribution or multi-touch attribution have become common approaches today to measuring marketing's impact, there are lots of other approaches that can be used. And it's important, I think, for us when we think about what the right methodology is, to think about what is the business question that we're trying to answer and what is the right approach. And it might be marketing mix or attribution, but it might be something else. And I think one of the approaches that we've been talking to lots of clients today about is agent-based modeling, or ABM. The idea behind ABM is it allows us to scenario plan or war game in environments that are not certain or in categories that are experiencing a large amount of disruption. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail about it, but essentially what you can think about is it's sort of a two-phase process. So the first phase is where we're trying to understand how a marketplace operates. How do consumers make decisions to buy one brand over another brand? What are the influencers that can drive those decisions? And we're creating a model that helps to explain that environment. The second piece of ABM, and perhaps the more important part, is once we've created that environment, we can run a whole variety of scenarios and start to say, what would happen if? A great example is in retail. What would happen if my main competitor went bankrupt because of COVID and totally went out of the market? Where would those shoppers go? And what can I do from an influential perspective? What drivers can I pull to drive incremental market share? Another example, we've talked to a lot of pharmaceutical marketers to say, when you lose a patent and a generic comes into the marketplace, what would happen? Or what is the role of the doctor and the pharmacist in the decision for a consumer to actually go on and buy a specific script? So we believe that ABM is an incredibly powerful tool and one that could help us really scenario plan for this very uncertain world. Beyond ABM, the one thing I do want to add, because I know Sean talked about Sensor as one of our products, but I also don't want to discount the value of data exploration. So, in today's time, it's great to have things like market mix modeling or ABM or Sensor, but there's a lot of value as well to just digging into a variety of different data sources to understand what's happening today and how consumers are behaving, whether it's consumer survey data, panel data, receipt data, really to understand, are there changes in behaviors that we're observing in the marketplace, and how can we take advantage of those? And so I think data exploration is going to be a critical tool for us now and into the future.